she just kept on calling for her mother. She just kept calling for her mother, and you heard her saying, "Ma, ma, ma, no, frame me." And after all that, after she went through all that, she still passed. It's a heartbreaking story, and it's a story about what could go wrong at home when the kids are left unsupervised, playing with fire. When they're in the kitchen, they're using things like irons and what have you. It's a gruesome story, and unfortunately, it's one that Dr. Pokuwari Ampoma is quite familiar with because he sees variations of this several occasions. But before we even bring him in with his experience, I want to know from you if you have any experience at home, if you have seen any sort of domestic accident like this, if you are concerned and you have questions, you can text in on 0244340437. Yao, for instance, has a question. I see a number of them coming in now. I'll open the phone lines as well. 0302216541. 0302216541. You can call in, share your experience. Let's know if you've experienced something like this before at home. What do you make of this story that you've heard of this woman who has lost her child? It's quite unfortunate. Before my first caller comes in, though, Dr. Pokuwari Ampoma, you've seen some of these stories before. It's very disheartening, isn't it? It's very disheartening to deal with this on a daily basis, isn't it?
Yes, in fact, this is every parent's nightmare, and unfortunately, we see it too often in our center. As we speak, about 51% of the burn cases that we see in our center involve children, and if you look at the incidence of burns, the very young and the elderly, form some of the greatest risk group, in terms of burns or occurrence of burns. And I know that nowadays, because of coronavirus thing, so everybody is talking about it, but we still have these issues that have been with us and continue to be with us. So we shouldn't take our eyes off the ball and think that everything is about corona, but we should make sure that whilst we are trying to prevent ourselves from getting infected with corona, we are also making sure that children are safe, because one cannot emphasize it enough. Like what this child went through, see the trauma, and see that for a parent to see their child go through this kind of suffering, and there's not much you can do about it. It's quite heartbreaking to see. And when children get, or a person gets burned beyond a certain level, no amount of plastic surgery can restore them back to the original form. So we have even children who were burnt in their childhood and have grown up, and they have self-confidence issues. They have so many, and in fact, there are some of them who have become depressed and who are even blaming their parents for not, looking after them properly and not having prevented it. So this can create problems that follow them throughout life. So when somebody gets a burn, it's not just one incident, because the consequences of the burn injury, if it's severe, would follow them throughout their life. So prevention is always better, because if you look at the statistics, more than 80% of burns are actually preventable. They happen because of someone's carelessness or negligence. So as parents, as adults, or wherever we are, we all need to play our role to make sure that we bring the incidence of burns to the barest minimum.
It's very true, and I want to know, for instance, why is it that we see a majority of your cases who are children, but let's bring in some of the listeners now. What's your story if you're listening to us? Do you have an experience to share? You may be at work, or you may be on your way to work. How safe are your children? Who's looking after your kids in the first place? Yes. The number to call is 0302-216-541. 0302-216-541. 0244-340-437. 0244-340-437. The phone lines are open, and so you can just call in and share your experience. Before the first caller comes in, though, why do we see a larger number of victims who are children?
Yes, because children are not very aware of their environment as we adults are. They are not aware of the dangers. Children want to test. Children are curious. They want to test the limits. They want to test the boundaries, and so it's incumbent on the adults who are supervising the children to make sure that the environment within which the children are is kept as safe as possible. So, as a parent, you have to kind of think ahead, several steps ahead. So, let's say if you've left a sharp knife, or you've left matches, the child will try, and the child has seen you strike a match. They don't know how to handle it properly. So, if you leave it lying around, they'll go and try and test it. And that's what happened in this case. And then sometimes even things like, you've lit a mosquito coil, or there's power cut, you light a candle, and you leave it unattended. It can easily,
result in the unfortunate.
So, as much as possible, you should try and keep the home environment. So, like the kitchen, for instance. Unfortunately, the way our domestic housing situation is, there's a lot of overcrowding. So sometimes we are not able to create a separate demarcation between the kitchen area and the play area, because children should know that, look, this area is off limits. You are not supposed to play here, so that they avoid some of this. You need to enforce some of these rules very early. Okay.
Let me take Josephine from Taipa. Okay, unfortunately, it seems like I lost Josephine from Taipa. I have Gifty from Kaswa, rather. Good morning, Gifty.
Good morning, Mr. Danny.
Hi, Gifty. What's your story?
Actually, I don't have any story, but I'm just scared a bit right now, because I usually leave my kids and go to work, so I'm just a little bit shaky here.
So who is taking care of them at home?
The truth is, no one takes care of them. I'm a sales executive, and I go around making sales. So sometimes I have to come and watch them. I've given the young, let's say the other one is 6 years, and the little girl is 3 years. I have to call the small boy. I've taught him how to use the phone, call him to find out. Every second I have to call him, don't do this, don't touch this. And by the grace of God, I have to go around and come. This for 2 years now. Yeah.
Wow, Gifty. Before Doc goes, we'll make sure that we get some simple tips on, how to deal with them and how to keep your home a bit safer, so that even though you are not at home, the home space itself is much safer. 0302-216-541. Michael is on the line for Matahiko. Good morning, Michael.
Good morning, Dr. Bazi. How are you, please?
I am blessed, Michael. How are you?
Thank you. I'm fine, thank you. Yeah, I have an experience to share. Hello?
Yes, go ahead, Michael.
Yes, mine is an experience. As I'm speaking to you, I'm carrying a scar on my left hand. I got burnt when I was 8 years. So we were playing as kids, and then I remember a woman called me. She wanted to send me, and she was cooking. I don't know I can't remember exactly what she was cooking, but she called me, and then she wanted to send me. So I was standing listening to her instruction. Then a friend that I was playing with from my back pushed me. So I happened to fall into whatever she was cooking, and I got burnt the whole of the left arm. And I've been carrying this scar for over 37 years now. And because of that, sometimes I don't feel comfortable with that. So I'm mostly wearing long sleeve shirts because of the scar. Because only time I put on short sleeve, people ask questions, what happened, why did it, this or so. So because of that, to prevent all some of these questions, to prevent some of these people, I always put on long sleeve. So I think parents must be careful how we see the children. And this I've been carrying this for the past
37 years. Wow, Michael, thank you so much for sharing your story with us this morning. Isaba is on the line from Spintex. Good morning, Isaba.
Yeah, good morning, Daniel.
Isaba, how are you doing?
Good, thank you. Yourself?
I'm blessed. Let's hear you.
Great, yes. So I have a little experience from when I was a kid. So I was just experimenting with matches and stuff, and I almost lit the house on fire. After that experience got to me so much that I passed it on to my children. So right when they were able to understand things, I told them, initially it was funny. Oh, mommy, you almost set your house on fire and all, but they got to understand, and then every time we'll talk about this, we'll play it over and over again. And then also a little advice that if the National Fire Service, if they could make it part of their corporate responsibilities, go to schools, educate kids on how to fire prevention, the do's and the don'ts, make little handbooks to be delivered to schools, given to schools, educate them how to use the fire extinguisher, the things that we can do to prevent fires in the house. Those simple things. I'm sure this isn't something that the fire service cannot handle. Because these things are real. They live with us. The kids are with us. You will leave them. Sometimes you are with them, and then something starts out in the kitchen, something starts out in the backyard. It could be anything at all. And, parents, we would have to do a lot more,
right.
Teach them as well at home, but then also the National Fire Service, pick this up, as your corporate responsibility. Go out, teach the children, offer free service to the school. This is something you could even add parents on, parents to help out with these things. And then I think we can do so much. Yeah.
Isawa, thank you so much for calling. Juliet is our next caller from Kaswa. Good morning, Juliet.
Good morning.
Juliet, let's hear you.
Okay, I haven't had any experience of fire with the children, but myself. But with the children, what I do is that I educate them as they grow up. And I do practicals with them. In that, when they are so young, I will just turn the iron on, heat it, and then just iron a surface and put their hand on it. And immediately the child will just draw their hand back, and I say, yes, if you play with this iron, that is what will happen to you. You will burn. So all my children, they went through that experience. Yesterday I was asking them, they said, oh, they don't remember. And I said, okay. So I also educate them on handling cables in the house.
Okay.
Children like to fidget with this television and those things. So I educate them on that. And if you are so young and I see you handling a cable, you will receive a beating from me. In fact, one that will not take you there again. You see. So that's what I do. And then I'll take them to the kitchen.
Juliet, thank you so much for calling. Efo is on the line from Sogakope. Efo
thank you.
Hi, good morning.
Well done. Good morning. I'm enjoying the conversation. I just want to say that it's the good work you are doing. Fire service is ever ready and willing to go out and educate students, parents, communities on how to prevent domestic fire and community fire and all that. But I think their main challenge is resources. And I think the fire service, they fall under the district assemblies and the other departments in the regions and the districts. So let's use our medium to ask the district assemblies to empower them, to give them the needed resources. You see, formerly, fire service, when you greet them fire, they will say conquer. But this time they say fire, they respond safety. It is better to prevent the fire from coming than to manage it. So I just want to say that let's empower the fire service departments in the various districts to go out to the schools, the communities, the churches, and the funerals and other places, educate them so that they can prevent the needless fires that kill children and other people in the house. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. Josephine from Taifa is back. Josephine, it's good to have you back.
Sure. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Let's hear you.
Sure. I also had an experience way back. I think I was 4 years old then. It was with hot water, boiled water. My parents received some friends from the States, and then we were just playing. The kids were just playing, and then I happened to bump into one who had just brought hot water from the burner to be used to prepare cocoa for our kids and siblings. And fortunate and unfortunate for me, I was in so many clothes. That day it had actually rained, but this hot water could penetrate through about 4 clothes I was wearing, and I got burnt right from my neck down to my breast, and it was horrible. Whenever they took me to the hospital, I have to be tied down for it to be dressed before I get off the bed, and it was so painful to the extent that it got to a point. My mother always made sure that I was sleeping before she could be able to sleep. That was even after the sore was all gone and the pain was all gone. Anytime she wanted to sleep, she made sure we were sleeping before she was able to sleep. I think parents are not being too careless as we might see it, but sometimes it's out of stress. You would say, okay, my kids are playing, so let me just get a short rest and then I'll get back to them. And out of this, we have this whole lot of accidents happening in our homes and all that. But we will still have to plead with parents. They should keep a close eye and supervision on their children. I think all these things are going to go down for us.
Josephine, thank you very much for calling. Emmanuel is on the line from Kumasi. Good morning, Emmanuel.
Good morning, Daniel. How are you doing?
I am blessed. Emmanuel, how are you doing?
We thank God, I'm fine. This is a very dicey situation. You know, we are in times which are not really regular, and so we should also plan to have, some kind of plans done on our behalf and for us. And then one of the things I think we can do as parents is to, we can get this young phones, okay, and give it to your eldest child. And if they are staying at home alone, it's likely they will be able to receive a call. I mean, they are taught how to do that, so that every now and then you call to find out what's happening at home. And since we are also not in regular times, management of organizations can also between this time period be able to accommodate children at their office. So parents should be able to, those who can, should be able to take their children to the workplace and then be able to be there with them. That's my suggestion.
Thank you very much for the suggestion. It's a very good one. Emmanuel from Kumasi. Edem is on the line from Insaom. Good morning, Edem.
Good morning, my brother. How are you doing?
I am blessed. Let's hear you.
In fact, I also had a personal, I would say I have a personal experience. My second born, it was a 25th, that was a Christmas day. We came from church and my wife wanted to, she was then hungry, so she wanted to breastfeed her as well. So she wanted to just microwave the porridge and then take. After microwaving it, she placed it on a very high level. Before we could say jack, she had just held the edge of the bowl and poured the porridge on her head. And the ordeal that we had to go through, the pain that, as at that time, you could even associate so well with the pain that she had to go through. And one thing I deduced from this whole thing is that, these children, they are very adventurous. And the little mistake will cause great harm to them. Because before you could say jack, they are doing something else. Just last 3 weeks, I have this pressing iron, 3 in the house. Mm-hmm. I kept some somewhere. And I have this miniature one that they have been using to play. So she picked it again. That was my third born. She picked it again and she was playing with it. And I told my wife that, that one doesn't work, so she should just leave it with her. Little did I know that in fact, it dawned on me that she can put it in the socket. I didn't pay attention to it. The next moment, she had gone and plugged this iron and placed it on the carpet. And it was just burning. So I was like, hey, then these children, we really have to take care because, it will leave you in a state of regret when later on this child goes up not knowing what kind of care you give to the child. And then she'll be like blaming you because you are something like there has been a defect or something. Then this child will just blame you. That is it. That is a big challenge that children, we parents have to take much consideration about.
Yeah, but Adam, it may not be advisable to leave an iron for a kid to play with, even if it's not working, because you don't want the child to associate an iron with a placing.
That was the mistake
I
in fact, it never occurred. Now I've packed everything to my bedroom.
Good. Adam, thank you very much for calling. Ata Alote is on the line from Mamprobi. Good morning, Ata.
Good morning.
Yeah,
I'm happy that you are discussing this thing. But what do you do? See, when you had a problem, what do you do? The first thing that you have to do, some people put water on it, some people put Vaseline on the person, some people do put iodine in the person. What do you do so that when somebody had a you will know what to do? Thank you.
As I just keep listening, Dr. Mpoma will answer your question for you. Ajman Joseph is on the line from Tema Community 9. Good morning, Ajman.
Uncle Dazi, good morning. I hope you're doing fine.
I am blessed. Yourself?
I'm also enjoying the grace.
Okay, let's hear you.
Yeah, when I was very young, I think 4 or 5, my dad was cooking palm nut for oil. Then I was all by him. And when he was taking the cooking pot, the heavy one, I mean, his hand shifted and the whole thing poured on us. And my leg, I could see there's a mark here. At that time, if my dad had spoken to me that, go away because it is dangerous, it wouldn't have happened to me. But sometimes, parents, when their children are crying because they are preventing them from getting closer to something, then they feel that, oh, I love my child, oh, let me allow him, let me allow her. But in the end, the disaster will strike, and you are going to suffer for it. So my question is, at what age do we allow children to handle something like mobile phone, knife, putting on gas, and iron? Well, at what age?
Okay. Thank you very much for your question, Ajman Joseph. You want to know at what age should we allow children to handle things like irons, mobile phones, and to work alone in the kitchen, for instance? Linda is on the line from Spintex. Good morning, Linda.
Good morning, Dan. It's not easy when you have boys. I have a boy who were cooking palm nut soup. That was on a weekend. And he went to the stove saying that he wanted to take his sausage from the oven. So in the process of opening the oven, this palm nut soup that was boiling had to pour on this little boy. It was just fortunate. He moved away and then the soup rather poured on his thigh. The whole place got burned. Seriously. So it was not easy, especially when it comes to boys. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda, for calling. The stories are making me cringe this morning. Before my next caller comes in, Kingdom Books and Stationery offers a 30-day credit facility with no interest charge. We deliver free within Accra, Tema, and surrounding towns. Call us on 0302-764-101 or 762-307 or visit kingdomgh.com. Kingdom Books and Stationery, your number one stop shop for all office essentials, stationery, and furniture. Serena is on the line from Yamwase. Good morning, Serena.
Good morning, sir.
Serena, you're on air.
My name is Serena once again. I'm from Yamwase. Yeah.
So, Serena, what's your contribution?
My contribution about this program is about our children. In fact, for the case, we have to be very, very careful the way we handle them and the way we even live with them. They want to lay hands on everything they see, and they want to exhibit their talent at home. Last, I was with these kids. I gave them with work, they should work, and other things, and then they join learning. They told me they want to watch joy learning. So I brought them inside, and we're all in the hall watching this joy learning. All of a sudden, I just saw them out. One went out. She's around 8 years. She just went out, went to the kitchen. No, the way she went and picked matches and was trying to light the gas. You see, like when we were all inside, I said, let me check on this child. What is she doing outside? Either she has gone to open the tap or in the kitchen doing something. I just went straight to the kitchen and she was there to light the matches.
Hey.
So, in fact, you don't know what could have happened. I became so sad. I just brought her inside again with them. I was so sad. I didn't know what to do. I was just thinking about it. What would have happened to this child? And what the whole world, when something like that happens, nobody would think about how. They would say that the mother was careless. Perhaps she was even sleeping and left them. Which is not true, you see. It's just the intervention of God. To me, it's just the intervention of God. We should be praying for the protection of God upon these children.
Thank you so much for calling. Bishop is on the line from Asante Mampo. Good morning, Bishop.
Good morning, Lon. How are you?
I am blessed, Bishop.
I just want, as an educationist and somebody who is to social work, I just want to say something about the children and their developmental stages. Parents, as children, their wards are in the house now. They should know some of them, especially those who are in the early grade, the early grade children, maybe from 2 years to about 8 years. They should be careful that they need guidance, total guidance. That does not mean that we tell them not to explore. They should explore. But in the house, dangerous things should be put away from them. And when you are hiding something that is hot, something that is dangerous, an iron, gas cooker, microwave, when you are putting on, let them be at a height that they won't get. And if you are hiding some of this, if you are putting food that is meant for them, and it's hot for it to cool, put it away. When you are hiding it, don't let them know where it is. Before you know, they will go there. And there's nothing like, I'm going to check this and come back now. The iron is still on. It's still in the reach of the child. Please, let us try as much as possible to do away with this, to avoid this domestic accident.
Bishop, thank you very much for calling. Your text messages, which are coming in their numbers, are brought to you by Glyco Travel Insurance Policy. Glyco, we cushion you for life. And after that, your back must last you a lifetime. Our final caller for now is Abina from Adenta. Good morning, Abina.
Good morning, Daniel. I just want to ask a simple question. The government says we should go to work and children should stay at home. Those of us without any help, who will take care of our children for us? The schools sometimes help because when you drop them at school, you close early or on time, you take them, you all come home. Now that we are supposed to go to work, the children are supposed to stay at home. Who will help? If you don't, even if you have a help, it's all difficult because you're not sure how best they can take care of the children for you. So what should we do? Anya, you tell me.
Now that's a tough one. Thanks for calling. Thanks to you all for calling. Dr. Pokuari Ampoma is here with us in studio. We just want to take a quick batch of messages from our friends from MultiChoice, UMB, Glyco, Syndicated Capital. And then when we come back, we have him address your concerns. We'll find out why kids are more at risk. We'll find out what we can do at home. Why is it that this kind of this time of the year, for instance, sees more burns? And what do you do? Someone was asking, what do you do when there's a burns accident at home? We'll be right back. Stay with us.
What would you do if you have the choice to do anything in life? Build your dream house, take very good care of your family, and plan for a comfortable retirement. Plan a befitting funeral for your loved ones when they depart. How would you live if you knew there was a friend waiting to support you on all of your life's choices?
You have such a friend in Glyco Life Insurance. Glyco Life has all the plans to meet your life's needs. Your child's education, your life savings, your mortgage, funerals, redundancy, and your retirement, and takes the burden off your shoulders. So go ahead and live life to the fullest today with Glyco Life Insurance Plans. And remember that all our policies are hedged against inflation. Talk to Glyco Life on 0302-218-500 or 246-142. Also visit our website at www.glycolife.com or any of our branches nationwide for more information.
Glyco Life, we cushion you for life.
Glyco, we cushion you for life.
UMB was was established in 1972 as the premier bank for the corporate and private sector in Ghana. From our very beginning, as the only Ghanaian bank serving all categories of businesses, we set a standard for excellence and innovation over the past 45 years. We've built a financially healthy and strong bank, demonstrated our commitment to our customers and to growing businesses, and exhibited originality and innovation at every turn. At UMB, our focus is built around people, service, products, and technology. These are the key to our present success and our future triumphs. At UMB, we're poised to make a difference not only with our customers, but also in the banking industry. We invite you to share in our future. Our future starts now with you.
The pandemic has hit.
Do whatever it takes.
It is in times like these that DSTV has you covered with key international and African news channels, bringing you breaking news in real time.
The explosion that rocked the town.
Big topic, of course, self-isolation.
Get all the world's stories first with CNN, Euronews, and our new channel Africa News, available on all DSTV packages, plus BBC World, Newsroom Africa, and Al Jazeera. Stay in touch and in the know 24/7 with DSTV.
Accidents do happen. It could be a motor accident, a sudden heart attack, or even a stroke, or any other health emergency. The first steps you take are very critical. Should you be involved in or witness an accident, call 112 for the fastest ambulance response. With over 300 well-equipped ambulances all over Ghana, you are assured of the fastest response to your emergency call. Call 112 during critical health emergencies and save your life and that of your family and loved ones. 112, help will come. 112, we are safe. Avoid prank calls as they can lead to loss of life of persons in actual need of help. Be a responsible citizen.
Every child needs to learn and play. That's why I give my kids Go TV, the best choice for kiddie edutainment. With lots of fun and educative channels for all ages, like Da Vinci, PBS Kids, Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, Jam Jam, and Disney Junior. Learning the fun way never stops. So, mommies and daddies, keep the children playing and learning whilst at home. For sales and customer service, SMS Go TV to 1731. Go TV. Live it. Love it.
Syndicated Capital introduces the Silent Night range of luxury mattresses and pillows. And for the first time, the Silent Night pregnancy and nursing pillows, crafted to provide exceptional relief for your legs, belly, and back during pregnancy, as well as amazing back support feeding your baby. No more sleepless nights and no more hustle with breastfeeding. Check out the Super Pillow Top Orthopedic Mattress, made with 12 inches of memory foam cushioning, providing unparalleled comfort and guaranteed to last for 20 years. No mattress comes close in comfort and support. Also available are high-quality bird sheets, reversible quilts, a large collection of orthopedic pillows and luxurious towels at unbelievable prices. Silent Night products are available at all Melcom shops, game stores, and Silent Night showrooms at Tema, Asylum Down, Adenta, Spintex Road, and Kumasi behind Minshia Palace, or call 0302-242532 or 050-131-5776. Silent Night. Sleep like never before.
We'll go through them with Dr. Opokuwari Ampoma. He is consultant plastic surgeon and he's the director for the reconstructive plastic surgeon and surgery and burns unit at Kolebu Teaching Hospital. Before we come to him to answer our issues, though, if you want to get access to the new Joy Learning channel on Multi TV, or you're having challenges with your Multi TV Digibox, just call Multi TV for assistance on 0244 340 415. Selena called in and said that, look, her kids were watching Joy Learning, and then one of them left to go and play with the gas. So Joy Learning is a good way to engage your children at home so that they are safe. 0244 340 415 or 0244 340 424 or 0302 226 163. Multi TV, just thrills. Now, the internet is like a highway for your business. Have you ever spent hours downloading your business files or missed a tight deadline because of your unreliable internet? That could be a potential opportunity out the window. With MTN Business, your business cruises on the most reliable, high-speed, secure, dedicated internet service in Ghana. Call us on 0244 308 111 if you live at Kaneshi, Abosiokai, Dansoman, Tantra Hills, Abelinkpe and Achimota now. Enjoy premium internet access specially designed for your business today, everywhere you go. Call 0244 308 111 for more information. Terms and conditions apply. So it's 29 minutes past 9. Dr. Opokuwari Ampoma, thank you once again for staying with us through the conversation. So these are some of the key issues that came up. Parents are talking about time to take care of their kids. Parents are talking about what to do in terms of first aid. But first of all, let's start from the kinds of burns. I understand it's different from what comes from fire, what comes from an iron. What are the kinds of burns?
Yeah, so generally a burn is a burn occurs or is an injury that is caused by any source of heat or chemical or electricity. So it causes the skin to become damaged, and depending on the severity or the extent of exposure, you can have it either very affecting just the upper part of the skin, like the surface of the skin, or it can bend deeper, even go right down to the bones. Okay, so one of your earlier persons talked about the degrees of burns. Okay, so the skin generally has got two main layers. The upper layer, what we see that's light colored or fair colored or whatever. Mm-hmm. It's called epidermis. So that's what we see. Okay, and then there's a deeper layer beneath it that's called the dermis. That layer actually forms about 90% of the thickness of the skin. So when you have a burn that just affects what we see, the epidermis. Okay, that's what we call the first degree burn. First degree burn usually is not in terms of outcome. It has a very good outcome in the sense that it usually will not form a blister, but it's quite painful. But it will in black people, we tend to see it as a darkish patch. Mm-hmm. But in light colored people, they see it as like an area of redness. Mm-hmm. A typical example is when a white person goes and lies in the sun, they get very red all over. That's a first degree burn.
Sunburn.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So once they stay out of the sun, they apply some soothing creams to it. After 5-7 days, they are fine. Okay. Then the second degree burn is the one that goes a bit deeper than that. It goes to the deeper layer of the skin, but it doesn't bend the full thickness of the skin. So typically to form blisters, and there's still a lot of pain associated with that. Okay, so that's a second degree burn. The third degree burn is when the full thickness of the skin is gone. That means the whole, all the skin, all the layers of the skin are bent. And interestingly, what tends to happen is that the full thickness burn actually less painful than the more superficial burn. If a burn patient has got pain, it means that the nerve endings are still alive, so they are still sensitive and they are firing. So the person has a lot of pain. So for us, if a burn patient comes and they are very quiet and you touch them and they are not screaming, then it means that's actually a bad sign for us, because it means that the burn is so deep that even the nerve endings and the sensors have all been knocked off. It's like you are driving a car where all the alarm systems have been knocked off. So you get it. So you know, you don't know what you do. You just have a disaster on your hands. Okay, so basically that's for the person who was asking about
the different kinds of burns.
The different types of burns. But then whether it's from heat, electricity, a chemical or whatever, it will cause damage to the skin. Okay, and in terms of what causes burns in the homes, in fact, if you look at it, the kitchen is the commonest area where injuries occur in the home, followed by the bathroom. And in the kitchen, like I mean, your callers give very vivid examples of how some of these things happen. So children play with matches or cooking and leaving. Sometimes when people are frying or cooking, sometimes you find the handle of the utensil jutting out. So a child who's crawling around the kitchen can get up and then pull on it, and then they end up pouring stew and soup and stuff on themselves. So this thing about trying to let the children be at least up to a certain age know that look, the kitchen is out of bounds. They shouldn't. The kitchen is not a play area. That is very important. Unfortunately, because of the housing situation in many of our homes, it's very difficult to enforce. But parents need to try and do whatever is best in their. You can even use an artificial barricade. Like if you have a child who's crawling around, you can use an artificial barricade to block that area so the child cannot get into that space, so that you can cook. So so it is with, and then domestic gas. It's also one of the cause of burns that we've been seeing. Many people don't know how to use gas properly. The gas cylinder is not supposed to be put in an enclosed space. It's supposed to be placed where it can circulate. And then when the valves get faulty, they need to be replaced. The tubes need to be replaced every 2 to 3 years, because so that they can get cracked and frayed and gas can leak and all that. Many times you find that when the valve is leaky, people will just grab a piece of stone and put it on it and all that, trying to do adjustments. There are people who even go around saying that they can service gas cylinders, and there are many explosions that have occurred as a result of these people trying to come and service these gas cylinders. There are people who are cylinder manufacturing company and other people who are licensed to do these things, and so where you place the gas, how you use it, and make sure that you have to put on your match, or the lighter first before you turn on the gas.
Okay.
Right? Many people turn on the gas
and then
sometimes
put on
they forget. Maybe somebody calls them, so they get distracted. And so the gas is still coming out. And when the gas comes out, it expands about 250 times the original volume. So you can see how quickly it will fill a room. So sometimes even something as little as even turning on a light switch, the spark within that can set off an explosion.
Wow.
So there are all these things that we need to end. So it's better to have the cylinder outside where there's free air circulation. Then you can create a little cage, metal cage for it that you can lock so that it's not stolen. And then so that in case it will cause an explosion. And so this safety in handling these things is very, very important. Then the other thing is about transporting of hot liquids. Many times somebody has prepared hot water, they are going to bath. They pick up the hot water, and then they are running to the bathroom. Of course, when they collide with somebody, there'll be like somebody mentioned about hot porridge, they are going to prepare. So transporting of hot liquids, one has to be very, very careful. So usually it's advised that if you're going to bath, prepare the hot water and then dilute it there, before you transport it to the bathroom, so that if you do the transport phase, you collide with somebody or you slip and it spills, then it's water that's okay for bathing, so it doesn't cause a burn. All right. And the same thing, you always of the water properly. It's because some people put their finger in boiling yam and be poking it to see whether it's
ready.
Soft enough or not, or in rice or whatever, and they don't get burned. They're okay. So people have got the thick skin that way, and but not everybody is like that. So something that for an adult will not cause a burn, in a child to cause it. So if the child is of the water that you are going to put the child in, and then even they're older and they can tell you, sometimes let them check the temperature themselves to see if it's okay. And then you dilute it some more. So a little just can use. So when you have little child around, because put hot food on the table, put the thing on themselves. And electrical wiring, for instance, please, students are calling and they go and badge their, and then they get electrical bed, or even there are these plastic they've done in such a way that you are charging your mobile phone, and then the switch is still on, and and then they get electric, okay.
Right. I just want to find out very quickly, and a number of the common burns in among children, but inform you that you also have an opportunity to have for Dr. question about what to do when there's a at home.
Yeah. So commonness is the hot liquids. So hot water, hot soup, oil. Sometimes people have finished frying, and then the hot oil is just. So there are scenarios that happen. So it away from the children, or you have to guard it very well. Of course. So in terms of
what to do when the unfortunate happens is brought to you by KNET, SES, and Volo. Joy Learning, keep learning. Now, wash your hands frequently and carefully with soap and water. Rewash your hands several times a day, especially after touching anything, including your phone or laptop. Use hand sanitizer when you cannot wash your hands properly. Wash fresh groceries. Clean and disinfect surfaces like countertops, door handles, furniture, toys, laptops, and mobile phones with alcohol. 100,000 kilometers fire at home. So experience the Bedrock 3 before 3, where claims up to 3,000 Ghana cedis reported before 3 p.m. are paid the same day. Bedrock Insurance, protecting the things you truly value. In 6 minutes, we wrap up the show, and before we go, Dr. Opoku-Wariampoma, so let's finish off with tips, especially on what to do when a fire does. Okay.
Yeah. So typically in the kitchen, we advise that you have something like a blanket, material that's thick like a blanket, so that when you're cooking and the fire starts, you can just quickly throw it over the fire, and it usually would deprive the fire of oxygen and to stop the fire. Or if you have a bucket of sand, those are simple things that you can, non-expensive things that you can use. So because you have to be fast, because once the fire starts raging, it becomes more difficult to control. And then secondly, if the fire gets out of control, then better to
leave.
Get your leave, with your kids, instead of trying to now go back to the bedroom to remember that you have some money under the pillow, or some jewelry or something. Because many people who've lost their lives or who've been badly burned in fires is because they try to return to pick something. So unless a human being, then I think you've got to be careful. Then in terms of first aid, once a burn happens, the best first aid is to just use simple water. It doesn't have to be ice water. It's just water at room temperature. Just pour clean water over the burn. Just irrigate the burn. In fact, it's been shown that what you do within the first 2 minutes of the burn has a significant impact on the outcome of the burn. Because one, what you do is that you are reduced. Then it's important that you remember to switch off the power source first before you attempt it. If you can't get access to the power source to switch it off, then use something that doesn't conduct, like a piece of plastic. Or if you're going to use wood, it has to be very dry wood, so that you can use it to sort of pull them away from the source. Otherwise, you also become a victim yourself.
Okay.
All right. And in the last thing that I want to talk about, there was some comment about, how parents are struggling to take care of children. And in fact, this is one of so the burns, although we see it happens at a domestic level, there are other factors that we need to consider as a society. So employers, society, district assemblies, epidemics over. We need to look at some of these interventions.
Dr. Opoku-Wariampoma, thank you so much. But before you go, there's Mohammed Yusuf on the line who wants to tell us something very quickly. Mohammed.
Hello.
So you know Dr. Ampoma?
Yes, I know Dr. Ampoma. Dr. Asma was one of the best doctors who happened to take care of my daughter when she got bent. And she did a very good job on my daughter.